Okay, pet parents, so a little while ago there was a trend going around on TikTok where people basically just said things that they would never do after working in the profession that they work in, and I really enjoyed that trend. I made a few different videos on it, and what I wanted to do was I wanted to give you guys my 15 things that I, as a super paranoid emergency vet, would not do as an animal owner after all of my experiences working emergency medicine. So hopefully you guys enjoy the video. As an ER vet, I think this legally has to be my first one, but number one, I would not have a pet without having pet insurance. Pet insurance may not be for everybody, and it's definitely far from perfect, but we as ER vets every single day see the massive benefits that pet insurance can have with pets and pet owners. We see it save owners thousands of dollars, and you will not be able to convince me that the right policy with a good company is not worth it. I think the second one's a little bit shameful that it has to be said, but I know it has to be said. Number two, I would not take veterinary advice from people who are not trained in veterinary medicine. That means a vet tech or a veterinarian. I don't know why this is a hard concept for people to grasp, but it is. If somebody who is not a veterinary professional gives you veterinary advice, please run it by a veterinary professional. I don't care if they've been working with dogs for 30 or 40 years. That doesn't make them a qualified professional. I've been changing light bulbs for God knows how long, but does that make me a qualified electrician that can rewire your whole house? Absolutely not. Number three, I would not declaw a cat. When a cat's declawed, what's happening is a portion of their finger is cut off. If you look at your finger and bend it, there's three distinct bends, the first, the middle, and the ending one. What a declaw does is it cuts this first portion completely off. It's a little bit inhumane, and it does lead to arthritic changes down the line. Number four, I think I speak for all veterinary professionals on this. Number four, I would not use a retractable leash for my dog. Seriously, they're not the strongest. Those little locking mechanisms don't work that well, and they cause a lot of injuries to both animals and to people. Just avoid them. Number five, I would not have just a free roaming outdoor cat. I do think cats absolutely need to have outside time, but I think it should be controlled. Either leash train them or get a catio. I see far too many cats get mauled by other animals, taken up by hawks, or hit by cars. Number six, I would not let my dog out in the front yard without a leash. I don't care how well trained your dog is, one wrong stimuli and they're gonna ignore your commands like that. You are basically asking for them to either get hit by a car, attacked by something, or even potentially attack something or someone else. Number seven, I would not skip yearly exam and blood tests on my cat just because they're healthy. Seriously, cats hide things extremely well, and a lot of the diseases they're prone to getting, if we can catch them early on enough, it drastically improves our chances of successfully managing them for a longer period of time. Number eight, when it comes to getting a new puppy or kitten, I guess for that matter, I would not get a new puppy from a major pet shop. I would avoid them. And I'm not talking about PetSmart and their Adopt-A-Pet days. You know the pet shops I'm talking about. The ones that have the massive signs and banners out front that say puppies for sale, and they seem to have a new batch of puppies every week or every other week. I don't care what these places say, unless you know for a certified fact, the vast majority of them will source their puppies from a puppy mill. You're also probably gonna vastly overpay for the puppy, regardless of what pedigree the puppy comes with. And there's also a really good chance the dog's gonna come with a horrific case of pneumonia that's extremely difficult to treat from the stressful lifestyle they have in their first couple of weeks. Number nine, I would not feed a new kitten just one type of food. When it comes to cats and eating, textures are a very big thing for them. And as a kitten, if you can expose them to as many different textures as possible, different types of kibble and different types of canned food, it may make your life a little bit easier when they're old and crotchety if you have to switch foods for a medical reason. And I want to be clear that I don't typically recommend a kibble diet for cats. I think a canned or a wet diet is better, but some cats will only eat kibble, and that's okay. But when they're young, expose them to different shapes and different sizes of kibbles, and also different types of canned diets, the pâtés, the gravy lovers, the shreds, the chunks, those little cat go-gurt things. Get them used to these textures while they're young. Number 10, and this one's kind of important, I would not get a specific breed of dog or cat without researching that breed first to know what I'm getting myself into. You have to make sure that the breed is a good fit for your lifestyle and that you can provide what the breed needs. We see it far too often that people who have a very couch potato lifestyle get a herding dog and they take them on one walk a day, and these herding dogs need a ton of activity to get all that energy out, and it's just not fair to them. So please make sure you can provide what the breed needs. Number 11, as a dog owner, I would just avoid dog parks entirely. While they may be good in theory, the problem with them is there's far too many irresponsible dog owners that bring their aggressive animals to the dog park and let them roam without a leash. And I'm going to tell you from experience, 90% of the time, if another dog bites yours and sends you to the ER, the other person is not going to help you pay for that vet bill. Number 12, I would not feed my dogs rawhides or bully sticks. Seriously, as an ER vet, I cannot tell you how many of these things I've seen get stuck in either the esophagus or the intestines, and I've seen quite a few of them cause perforations that ultimately led to the pet passing away. There are so many safer alternatives out there for dogs that love to chew. We're going to come on back to cats for number 13. So I would not have too few litter boxes in a household with multiple cats. A lot of people know this rule, but some don't. As a general rule of thumb, we recommend at least one litter box for every cat in the house, and then one extra within reason. Like if you got a million cats, it's a lot of litter boxes, but that's the general rule. Please stick to it. And also, as a bonus, please clean the litter boxes every day. Number 14 is a little bit easier said than done, but with a new puppy or kitten, I would not leave things on the ground. I would make a conscious effort to pick everything up. Trash cans should go up on counters, put weights on them, maybe a locking mechanism, take all the clothes, put them in a room that the pet doesn't have access to. Do whatever you can to prevent them from eating things they shouldn't. And number 15, I would not get a cat expecting it to be a sedentary creature. I see far too many people get cats expecting them to be lazy couch potatoes, and that doesn't always work out. A lot of cats are actually super active and need a lot of environmental enrichment, so don't get a cat unless you're prepared for the 3 a.m. zoomies.